Good morning, friends. Today we shall start last article inner product spaces. Up to last lecture, we have taken F as a field of real numbers. Means when we consider V is a vector space or the field F, where F is a field of real numbers. In inner product basis, we shall consider F as a field of real numbers or field of complex number, either real numbers or complex number. Now vector space, we have defined the concept of vector space V over an arbitrary field F. Now we study vector space over a field of real or complex numbers on which a certain types of scalar valued functions or pair of vector is defined and which is known as inner product. Throughout this article, F will denote R, that means real number, or C, capital C, complex number. In the first case, that means when F is field of real numbers, then the vector space V is called as a real vector space. And when F is a field of complex number, then vector space V is called as a complex vector space. Means you have to remember one thing is that in the article inner product phase, when we consider V is a vector space over a field F, then the F is either real number or complex number. When F is a real number, then vector space V is called as a real vector space. And when F is a complex number, then vector space V is called as a complex vector space. Is it clear? This is important for MCQ. Now we shall define inner product space. To define inner product space, at first we have to define what is a inner product. The vector space V over a field F, as already I have told that F is a field of real numbers or complex number. The vector space V over a field F is said to be an inner product space if there is defined for any two vectors U and V belongs to vector space capital V, an element which is denoted by in circular bracket U comma V in F. This element U comma V, this is called as an inner product, and which is the element of field F. That means which is either real number or complex number, satisfying the condition that inner product UV, when I say inner product UV, that means in circular bracket it is a U comma V. Inner product UV is equals to inner product VU bar. Here bar means a conjugate. If inner product UV is a complex number, then inner product UV is equals to inner product VU complement. That means when we change the places of U and V, at that time we have to take their conjugate, means bar on the inner product. Inner product UV is greater than or equal to 0. That means inner product is non-negative. It is either 0 or positive. It is 0, that means inner product UV is 0 if and only if the vector U is equals to 0. And third condition, when we shall take the inner product of alpha u plus beta v with third element w, which is equals to inner product alpha into uw plus beta into vw for any u and v belongs to vector space V and alpha beta belongs to field F. That means inner product alpha u plus beta v with w is equals to take alpha outside and the inner product of u with w plus take beta outside, inner product of v is w. This okay. If these three conditions are satisfied, then we say that vector space V over the field F is an inner product space. Then remark, the vector space V with an inner product is called as inner product space. If V is a vector space over the field F, and if we define an inner product on the vector space V, then such vector space is called as a inner product space. A real inner product space is called an Euclidean space. Real inner product space means if F is a field of real numbers, in such cases the vector space, the inner product space is called as a Euclidean space. A complex inner product space is called as a unitary space. Remember these two sentences for MCQ. A real inner product space is called as a Euclidean space. A complex inner product space is called as a unitary space. Already I have told that a real inner product space means F is a field of real numbers. Complex inner product space means F is a field of complex number. Okay. Next remark, inner product of any element with itself is a real. It is not a complex number. Inner product of u with u itself is a real because if we interchange the places, there is a conjugate, and conjugate of this is again interchanging of places, you will get the same element. That means inner product of uu bar is equals to uu, and therefore inner product uu is a real. Now using third condition, inner product of alpha u with v is equals to alpha inner product of uv. That means when we say take alpha outside of the inner product, alpha is the coefficient of first element, then we shall take it as it is, alpha inner product uv. And u inner product alpha v means when alpha is a coefficient of second element, then we have to take its conjugate outside. That means alpha u v, but here it is a alpha bar, inner product of alpha bar uv. And 6 is inner product of 0 with any element of vector space is always equals to 0. This is true for all u belongs to vector space V. Then we shall remember one result. It is taken as a problem. I am consider the result only. Here problem is show that inner product of u with alpha v plus beta w. Means already we have seen inner product of alpha u plus beta v with w. But what happens if alpha and beta are coefficients of second elements? If we have alpha u plus beta v inner product of w, then this is equal to alpha inner product of uw plus beta inner product of vw. This is the third condition of definition of inner product space. But now we shall consider what happens if alpha and beta are coefficient of second elements. Then we have to take alpha and beta outside with their conjugates, and therefore this is equals to alpha bar inner product of uv. This bar, it is not a bar on v, it is a bar on alpha. Alpha bar inner product uv plus beta bar, there is also bar, beta bar inner product UV. Okay, when alpha and beta are coefficients of second elements, then we have to take it outside of inner product with their conjugates. Then we shall see norm of a vector space. What we have to see norm of a vector space. Okay, this is the article norm of a vector space. Means actually we are not norm of element of vector space. Though we have written this as a norm of vector space. If V is a vector space over the field F, when vector space is given Vf, and if there is a defined inner product on this vector space, then such vector space is called as a inner product space. As name of our article is inner product space, every vector space, when I say vector space, no doubt it is a inner product space. Means we shall consider V is a inner product space over the field F, and if small v is element of vector space V, then norm of V, or it is also called as a length of V, it is written as two vertical lines on both sides of V, and we read this as a norm of V, and is defined by norm of V is equals to square root of inner product of VV. Listen again, norm of V is equals to square root of inner product of V with V itself. What happens if we squaring both sides here? If we squaring both sides, it will become norm of V square is equals to inner product of VV. Okay, this is the definition of norm of element of a vector space. Now you have to remember that if norm of any element of a inner product space V is equals to 1, then V is called as a unit vector. A vector whose norm is equals to 1, such vector is called as a unit vector. That means norm of V is equals to 1, then V is a unit vector. When we get norm of U is equals to 1, then U is a unit vector. And second case, if V is not equal to 0, then V upon norm V is also unit vector. These two notes are very important for MCQ. You can see last year some problem already I have sent to you. Such questions are there. Okay, what is first? If norm of V is equals to 1, then V is called as a unit vector. In examination, there will be another vector is taken. If norm of W is equal to 1, then W is called as a dash dash. W is called as a unit vector. And if V is not equal to 0, then V upon norm of V, it is also unit vector. You can simplify this. You will get its V upon norm of V is equals to its norm is equals to 1. Therefore, V upon norm of V is a unit vector. Now next result is if U and small v are elements of inner product space V and alpha beta are elements of F, then inner product of alpha U plus beta V with itself alpha U plus beta V, which is equal to alpha bar. You can take alpha bar alpha or alpha bar into inner product of U with U plus alpha beta bar. It is a beta bar. Alpha beta bar inner product UV plus, it is not minus or plus alpha bar beta, this minus sign, it is, that means it is a bar on alpha. That means plus alpha bar beta inner product VU plus last term is beta into beta bar inner product of VV itself. This is the result. But in terms of norm, it can be written as norm of alpha u plus beta v whole square is equals to mod of alpha square, because here it is alpha alpha bar. Alpha bar means mod alpha square, because in complex number we know that if z is any complex number, small z, then z into z conjugate, that means z into z bar is equals to mod z square mod of z square. And therefore alpha bar is mod of alpha square. In inner product u means norm of u square is alpha beta bar uv as it is, plus this is alpha beta bar inner product vu plus beta bar, it is written as mod of beta whole square. It is mod of alpha whole square. It is mod of beta whole square, and inner product vv means norm of v square. Means in terms of norm, you have to remember this result. Norm of alpha plus beta whole square is equals to mod of alpha whole square. This square is outside of modulus. Mod of alpha whole square into norm of square, norm of u square plus alpha bar beta inner product uv plus alpha beta bar inner product vu plus mod beta whole square into norm of v whole square. This is the result. Then we shall see squads inequality. To see the squads inequality, we shall see one result from real analysis. The result is if A, B, C are real numbers, which is also important for MCQ, real numbers such that A is greater than or equal to 0 and A lambda square plus 2B lambda plus C is greater than or equal to 0 for all real lambda. That means lambda is a real number. Then B square is less than or equal to AC. You have to remember this. A lambda square plus 2B lambda plus C is greater than or equal to 0 implies that B square is less than or equal to AC. Now using this, we shall prove one result, but I am not going to explain the proof of that result. Only we shall see this result, and this result is called as a chords inequality, which is usually asked in for MCQ. This result is given to you. This result is given to you, and this result is called as a dash dash dash. Then you have to choose correct alternative as a chords inequality. Or alternatively, it is given that which of the following is a squads inequality. Some different inequalities are given to you. You have to choose this inequality, which is called as a chords inequality. Okay. Now we shall state now chords inequality. Let V be an inner product space over the field F, and if small u and v is element of the inner product space V, then mod of inner product uv is less than or equal to norm of u into norm of v. Remember this inequality. If mod of inner product of uv is less than or equal to norm of u into norm of v, this inequality is called as a squads inequality. Okay. Then there are some special cases of squads inequality which you have to remember. First case, if V is equal to Fn, n dimensional inner product space with UV is equals to alpha 1 beta 1 bar plus alpha 2 beta 2 bar plus on alpha n beta n bar, where U is a n dimensional inner product alpha 1 comma alpha 2 dash 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 comma alpha n, and small v is also n dimensional inner product beta 1 beta 2 dash dash beta n. Then you have to remember the result that mod of alpha 1 beta 1 bar plus alpha 2 beta 2 bar plus on alpha n beta n bar is less than equal to mod alpha 1 square plus mod alpha 2 square plus on mod alpha n square and plus mod beta 1 square plus mod beta 2 square plus on mod beta n square. Means here left hand side is alpha 1 mod of alpha 1 beta 1 bar plus alpha 2 beta 2 bar plus on alpha n beta n bar, which is less than or equal to in bracket mod alpha 1 square plus mod alpha 2 square plus on mod alpha n square, close the bracket, plus in another bracket mod beta 1 square plus mod beta 2 square plus on mod beta n square. Then second special case is if V is the set of all continuous complex valued function on the interval, closed interval 0 to 1 with inner product defined by inner product of ft with gt is equals to integral 0 to 1 ft into gt bar dt, then remember the result modulus of integral 0 to 1 f of t gt bar dt whole square. It is a modulus whole square and modulus of integral 0 to 1 f of t gt bar dt. Then this is less than or equal to integral 0 to 1 mod ft whole square dt into integral 0 to 1 mod gt whole square. This is the second special case. Then we shall conclude with this our today's lecture. Next article is orthogonal sets. Only you have to remember one result. I am trying to see where. Okay, I will get this. If in an inner product space V, that means V is an inner product space, then which of the following parallelogram law? For MCQ, this is also important. This result is known as parallelogram law. Norm of U plus V whole square plus norm of U minus V whole square is equal to 2 times norm of U square plus norm of V square. In inner product space, this law is called as a parallelogram law. Okay, with this I am concluding our today's lecture. In next lecture we shall see orthonormal set. Thanking you.